Yo, what's shaking, everyone? Welcome back to Mindset Motivated with Zack, George, and Robert Bruski, where we talk about all things mindset and all things motivation, right?
That's right.
And today's episode is going to be fantastic because both Zack and I have been through a number of instances of this, and that is the subject of starting over, right? Starting over, whether it is in business, in training, in a relationship, in your mindset or your motivation. There's so many opportunities to start over, and I feel that sometimes people are a little afraid of that, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so tell me about your story about starting over. Tell me about what you think about starting over.
I'll quickly touch on my story about starting over. Well, I've started over 5 years ago. I started over, and it was like I hit the delete button on my entire life.
Yeah.
I had I closed my business. I lost my house. I lost everything, financially, everything, literally, and started over and had to rebuild. And I've started over relationships before. I've started over martial arts systems before, and I see people starting over all the time. Now, if I start over, say because something has failed and it hasn't gone my way, now whether I'm leaving a relationship or leaving a job or whatever, or restarting a business, now I'm not going to just leave one relationship and try to sell the same product and enter into, grab a different one to fit it in, right? Or take a business that failed and try to repitch that same business over in the exact same fashion. My advice to anybody that has to start over, business, personal, even in lifestyle. Lifestyle is one of them that I had to start over as well too, and kind of relearn a couple things. My advice to you is always come back and work on the product. Always turn back and work on. So if I am going to, before I put something back on the shelf, I want to take time to look at the quality. I want to improve how I believe in this product. That way, when I put it out there, I will have confidence. I will be able to stick to my plan a lot better, and it won't be batted out of the air immediately because I'll have layers to fall back on through, what I've done. So, anytime, just like the person that, gets dumped by a boyfriend or a girlfriend, right? What do? They go, they get in shape. They go, they get their hair cut. They go, they call new friends up,
Yep.
And they come back and then when they put themselves back on the market, they're like this completely, transformed person, whether it's out of spite or whether it's out of, just wanting to do better and not liking who you become. Nevertheless, you come back and you work on the product. So my advice, and just the reason we're talking about starting over is because with COVID shutting down both of our businesses, personal lives as well too, any entertainment, anything, we started over a couple times, right? And by the third time of starting over, we were freaking burnt out, weren't we? And we're like, how do we do this again? I don't want to start over, right? But nevertheless, the show must go on. How do you feel about that, Robert?
Well, Zack, I mean, you know what? I think for people who are going down a path for the first time, let's say they're starting a business for the first time, and something happens, and they have to start over, right? Whether it's restart the business or a different business or whatever, it's really gut-wrenching, You feel like you've put so much effort and time into something, and now you got to restart. However, and this comes with age, as you start over in a number of other things, business or relationship or whatever, that first gut-wrenching hit of, I got to start over, isn't there as strong the second time or the third time or the fourth time. Hopefully you don't have to start over so many times. But eventually you realize that starting over is just a part of the cycle.
Actually, starting over brings vitality.
Yeah, it does.
Back into everything. It brings vitality. I think of, like, in fighting, if I enter into a fight and you and I get into an exchange and I've been hit twice, 3 times clean in this exchange, I should get the hell out of this exchange because I'm going to get knocked out and the fight's going to be over.
Yeah.
So what I do is I find my angle, I slip, I roll underneath, I'll create some space, and then I'll recap. I don't just want to like, I got hit. I'm not just going to run back in and try to continue an exchange that's over and hold on to something that's going to get me hurt. I'm going to just take a step back. I'm going to give my hands a little drop. I'm going to tuck my chin and I'm going to start over. Okay, what the hell went? And I'm going to work my way and I'm going to re-enter and I'm going to try to critique that exchange as opposed to staying in there and getting knocked out. So starting over, where there's obstacles, there's always opportunities. Starting over can give you a completely clean slate. And again, it's all about your perspective. Don't throw a pity party for yourself. You got to get over that crap.
Yeah.
Starting over, it takes kind of a detachment, I think.
For sure.
You have to
detach.
like,
I find that like a lot of times people start over because they failed at something. And although these things are related, you're starting over because you failed, I feel a lot of people are hung up on the fact that the failure happened.
That's right, their history.
Yeah, and they've stopped and they haven't started to move to this starting over thing,
That's right.
And like you said, once your mindset is like, okay, I'm at rock
acceptance.
Yeah.
Acceptance. Once you have acceptance that you are starting over, it is a beautiful thing, actually.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. And you know what? You're ready to eat better because now it's your way and it's your choice. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether starting over is your choice or not your choice. Sometimes it's not your choice to start over.
Yeah.
Sometimes circumstances have shut down what you're doing and now you're forced to start over, right?
Yeah.
So.
To give you an example, when it comes to heartbreak, if your significant other, you guys break up, you may think, oh, I'm never going to fall in love again, or I'm never going to date again, and all that sort of stuff. And you may be thinking out of emotions. If you think rationally, you're going to get back on the horse, right?
Yeah.
But you just haven't gotten back on the horse because you're still dealing with the loss. You know what I mean?
So I guess what we're trying to do is giving you a way out of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Starting over, take a stance, accept what is happening. I mean, if you hold on to something, it'll drag you down with it.
Yep.
So at some point, you need to do an evaluation and accept what's happening. And then at that point, understand that a fresh start or starting over will bring vitality, control, and maybe even joy back into your life once you embark on it.
Okay,
right?
So just before we wrap up, if you had to say the number one, there's many, but the number one thing you do to accept a loss in order to begin the starting over, what would that be? Well,
you know what? Usually it's something, I hang on to things far too long.
Okay.
And most things end in crisis.
Yeah.
And for me to accept it, and I think it all boils down to humility.
Okay.
Acceptance and humility. Just to say, you know what, I don't know everything. I need to change. I need to be like water. Anything that is too rigid in life will snap.
Yeah.
We need
humble.
to be flexible like bamboo, bend but never break, hard but not too hard, soft but not too soft. You understand?
I dig it. I totally dig it.
Yeah,
I understand.
And then we invite vitality. Good things will happen when you start over.
Absolutely.
You will attract good things. You will attract good people. And you know what? Just I think stepping on the path.
Very wise words. Very wise words. All right, everyone, that's everything for this episode of Mindset Motivated with Zack George and Robert Bruski. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, subject ideas, just reach out to us. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and share. And until next time, stay frosty.
Stay hungry.